Okay people, so before we get into this one, I want to stress very heavily that this video is by no means intended for any disrespect, any malice, any malicious nature for that matter. I'm strictly speaking and debating an opinion I've seen. Don't attack anybody, it's not that serious, it's just a discussion. A little bit that was, I guess, sparked off by said comments, but yeah, I want to stress that there's no bad vibes here. At the end of the day, respect to everybody, because everybody is entitled to their opinion, even if they're wrong. Let's talk about it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay people, so in case you're unfamiliar with the gentleman that I'm replying to, he goes by Ninja, very popular streamer. I'm sure most of you know who he is, but I've seen a few people that were a little bit confused when I was talking about this over on Twitter. A major streamer, big for Fortnite. He was huge on the Twitch platform and all of that jazz. Very big dude. He recently said something because he's been talking about anime for a while. In fact, I want to say I replied to his comments back in 2019 regarding Demon Slayer, because I would definitely give him credit that he at the very least somewhat helped to boost the popularity of Demon Slayer at that time when everything was going on, because his, love and passion for the series really emitted with a lot of people, and a lot of people were going crazy for Demon Slayer. So shout outs to him for being an anime fan. But yeah, I disagreed to a certain degree with his opinion on saying Demon Slayer is like the greatest anime or some shit he said 2 years ago, and I definitely gotta disagree with this opinion, because a gentleman by the name of Tim the Tatman, if I'm not mistaken, forgive me, I'm not familiar with him, but he quoted something, and a lot of people confirmed that this is actually legit that he said it, but I'm not 100% confirmed on it. So if he said it or not, that's up in the air. But he quoted Ninja saying this: "The Ant arc in Hunter x Hunter is the worst arc in anime history," at Ninja, and that was in quotations. And he also chimed in with "nothing but facts." And I think what he meant to say, nothing but fax machine, like, he was using a fax machine at the time when he was tweeting that out, because there ain't nothing factual about that. Now, I'm one of the people that back when Hunter x Hunter was airing each and every week, the episodes of the 2011 anime, I was there, I was reviewing it, I know what was going on at the time, I know the pulse of the culture, because I was there each and every week. In fact, I was there when initially, I want to say it was Saturday nights that it was airing the episodes, until they switched over to the Tuesday schedule. So I know what time it is when it comes to Hunter x Hunter, and how people were feeling about it, and how I feel about it, and how right now a lot of people feel about it. And that's that Hunter x Hunter is one of the GOATs. Fam, there's a reason why, despite the fact that Yoshihiro Togashi, the author of Hunter x Hunter, has taken hiatus after hiatus, he actually holds the world record, breaking his own previous record of the most hiatuses for an ongoing manga. Why people still stick around, why people still stand around waiting for this manga's return, and when it returns, people go absolutely batshit crazy. It's not because like, oh yeah man, that Togashi's a cool dude. It's because they absolutely love and trust this story and appreciate it for its quality. And the Chimera Ant arc is arguably one of the best arcs in the story. So initially when I saw that, I was like, is this a troll bait? Like, are they trolling? And a lot of people were actually agreeing with that opinion, which I was kind of like, what? Nani sore? Hunter x Hunter slander? Where they do that at? What are we doing here, folks? Because let's just keep it real. Yoshihiro Togashi's Hunter x Hunter series and Yu Yu Hakusho, he's the author of two of the greatest shonen stories ever told. And the Chimera Ant arc is regarded as one of the best stories out there. Now, I want to say in the anime, it was, I want to throw a ballpark of like 70 episodes. I might be totally off on that, because I know the anime is 148 episodes, and I'm not sure if it was 70. It's a long freaking arc though, and in the manga, it was long as well, and I gotta give it to manga readers that kept up with that shit, because imagine being in the Chimera Ant arc, and every year you're taking a long ass break and then having to come back to it. Like, that must have been rough, especially at that time. Yoshihiro Togashi's art was all over the place, of just from really terrible to pretty damn awesome. Like, yeah, salute to those people. But in terms of the quality, I'm kind of surprised I'm actually debating this. Like, the structure of the Chimera Ant arc, one of the big things is that it was kind of almost a formula you would get from like a One Piece arc, where a lot of build-up, a lot of intrigue and suspense added in for gigantic, amazing, and immense payoffs. That's the way the narrative was structured. So yeah, you will have a good 2 to 5 episodes of like setting things up, getting characters in place, understanding backstories and things like that, and then boom, you would get the biggest payoff ever. It wasn't a instant gratification type of story where each and every episode something big was happening, which, don't get me wrong, there was tons of episodes alone, especially once the royal guards showed up. It was just, oh my god, some peak fiction, but at the very least, right? Because, you know, my opinion on it is that the Chimera Ant arc is absolutely amazing. There was just so many classic moments from Meruem, the Royal Guards, Meruem and Komugi, Gon versus Neferpito, Gon's new form. Like, there was just non-stop. I could name moment after moment after moment after moment. Knuckle just, I just keep on thinking, oh, that was a great moment. Oh my god, that was a great moment. So I'm a little biased, maybe you could argue, right? Because I just absolutely loved it. But even quality, like, I could put my bias aside, and if it was just a shitty story, then it's a shitty story. But it's the furthest thing from that. It's like quality and entertainment. If anything, I would argue maybe the entertainment is lower than the quality in certain regards, just because, yeah, there are a bunch of setup episodes in between events and stuff like that. So maybe you could argue a little bit slow pace, a little bit of the setups that weren't the most exciting and interesting at the time of building things up. But again, it was for a giant payoff. And in that statement, hands down, you cannot debate this. To say, throw the argument out there, which I want to say, I'm going to give credit, it was probably hyperbole. I don't think he was actually being serious with this, but to say that it is the worst arc in all of anime. I could think of 5 anime off the top of my head right now, which I'm not going to tell you guys because then we're going to start a whole other war out there, that arc is better than every single arc in this story. If you want to be that person that types in which series that the Chimera Ant arc is better than every arc in there, then you do that. Go ahead. If that's your prerogative, by all means, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. But me personally, I don't want to start another war in here. We already got war going on between Hunter x Hunter fans of, hey, this was great. Hey, I didn't like it. But fam, the Hunter x Hunter Chimera Ant arc is regarded highly for a reason. You could argue, at best, I would say, at best, you could argue maybe to you, it is one of the weaker arcs in the story, but even then, I would say that I don't agree with that at all. Even if you absolutely hated and despised a lot of the things about the Chimera Ant arc, I would argue that it's still not worse than, like, Greed Island. Greed Island was a slow arc with a lot of setups and buildups, and eventually it was cool with the dodgeball and stuff like that, but if you're comparing it to, like, Greed Island, come on. So even in its own story, there's no way you could say that the Chimera Ant arc is the worst arc in all of it, because there's arcs that aren't as good as the Chimera Ant arc. All the build-up, setups, the deaths, the character development. Gon as a main character, as an MC, remember, the main character of the story, underwent immense character development, understanding more about himself, understanding pain and rage, the fact that that naive nature was actually weaponized within himself to become the monster that he ultimately became, and then learning loss, understanding the relationships and the parallels between him and Killua. Like, there was just so much madness to this, and the fact that they didn't even need the entire cast. If I'm not mistaken, was Kurapika really involved in the Chimera Ant arc? I don't even think he was in the Chimera Ant arc, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it was just something else entirely. So even character development wise, again, for the narrative and structure of it all, it was phenomenal. So I don't know, I was just kind of flabbergasted to see that, and to see not only just that quote itself, but people actually chiming in and agreeing with that statement. I was left in shambles to think that people actually feel that way about Chimera Ant arc. I also think that a lot of that has to do with a little bit more of a bias of, remember, Hunter x Hunter 2011 ended in 2014. It's been 7 years. We've had a lot of series come and go, but maybe people just feel like, you know, oh, the latest stuff is just so great, and they're forgetting how epic that Chimera Ant arc was, how epic it was when the Royal Guard showed up, how epic it was when Meruem was awoken, like how you cried at the end of that arc, or at the very least got sad, teary-eyed. So many different amazing things happened in that arc, and yeah, I just feel it's disingenuous to even remotely shit on it. You could say it was slow, you could say it wasn't your favorite arc, you could say it was one of your least favorite arcs in the story, but to say it is the worst arc, and that's the thing that I'm mainly debating, it is the worst arc in all of anime. Bam, do you know how much anime is out there right now? Like, do you understand how many anime have ever been made? How many anime, even in that year alone, in the last 7 years alone, have been made? Absolutely disagree with that, and I think that was, again, I want to give credit. I don't want to completely go in. I want to say again, I believe that was hyperbole. I think it was made more so for comedic relief, but I do see people agreeing with that, so I had to chime in on that and say Chimera Ant arc is one of the best arcs in shonen manga history, shonen anime history for that matter, and yeah, I just feel like, what are we doing here? Why are we attacking Hunter x Hunter in 2021? At most you could say, yo, I'm impatient with waiting for the manga to return, but to say that about Chimera Ant Komugi, no! Very extremely curious what you guys think about this statement, about this comment. Again, shout outs to the dudes that said this, no hate or anything like that. I just wanted to debate this opinion, and especially because a lot of viewers were chiming in on that. Do you agree that the Chimera Ant arc is the worst arc in all of anime, or do you even feel that it was a bad arc? Maybe you just feel it wasn't a good arc. Not the worst, because that's, you know, outlandish, but it was like a bad arc and not good. And if you don't agree with that, where would you put Chimera Ant arc? Is it one of the best in shonen anime? Again, I put it up there as one of the best. Like, it's total opposite for me. Like, it was slow in certain aspects, but yeah, it was amazing payoffs, and that's a great recipe when you could do like, yeah, it's a little bit slow, but in the end result is 20 out of 10. I'll take it. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm from Netherworld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life. Bye. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And yeah, Hunter x Hunter forever, baby. Hunter x Hunter for life, regardless of what. I don't know what Ninja was talking about there. He must have been hitting a little of the ganja or something, because fam, the Chimera Ant arc, mwah, chef's kiss. Have an awesome one.